Only 4 spots remain in the �𝐼 World's Strongest Man Final. Today, another qualifying group begins their journey, taking on some of the most thrilling events of the competition. Eddie Hall of Great Britain coming back stronger than ever, hoping to improve on last year's 3rd place finish. But first, he must earn his ticket to the sport's biggest stage. The 6 men from Group 4 begin their quest right now. Welcome back to the picturesque nation of Botswana for the 40th edition of the �𝐼 World's Strongest Man. I'm Brent Stover alongside Aaron Taylor. Group 4's qualifying round gets underway in the capital city of Gaborone at Botswana's Parliament Building Plaza with the load and drag.
Well, Brent, this is proving to be a pretty interesting event. It's a 2-part event where initially the strongmen will have 1 minute and 15 seconds to load 2 245-pound sacks onto the platform, and then the fun begins when they drag a mining cart weighing 683 pounds as far down the 10-meter course as possible.
3 of the 6 athletes of Group 4 make their way to the start line. First up, Devaughn of the USA, his second time on the World's Strongest Man stage. Also, we have Lauri Nämi of Estonia, 38 years old, his 4th appearance at World's Strongest Man. And from the neighboring nation of South Africa, Gerhard van Staden. And they are off. Van Staden in the near lane, Nami in the middle, and Devaughn in the far lane.
Devaughn and Nami tied with that first sack up onto the platform. Van Staden a little bit behind. He's bulked up this year, but the athleticism of these 2 competitors on display here early.
So that's just kind of the precursor. Now we get to the nitty-gritty, 683 pounds.
Yeah, the sacks are the appetizer. This is the main course, and this event right here perfectly suits Van Staden's frame and added weight.
And here's the deal. There aren't wheels there. This is on uneven brick, and it's metal on brick just grinding along.
There's a tremendous amount of friction that's created as a result, Brent. You're absolutely right. So a lot of the strongmen have been struggling trying to find the right angle and the right synchronization, but it looks like Van Staden doing a really nice job coming from last at the platforms to pulling this cart as far down the course as possible.
Final 8 seconds. He's in a dead heat with a man in the far lane, Devaughn of the United States. Final 2 seconds. Neither man will get it across the line, but it's Van Staden in the near lane from neighboring South Africa, wins heat 1 in the load and drag. He was able to drag it 8.03 meters, and Devaughn finishes 2nd in this first heat.
Devaughn, as big as he is, believe it or not, was a professional baseball player. He showed his athleticism early on, but loses his footing here during the important dragging portion of this event, and it cost him big time.
Well, 3 more athletes in Group 4. Well, 3 more athletes in Group 4 are making their way to compete.
In lane 1, from Iceland,
Iceland's Ari Gunnarsson is back for his 2nd year in a row.
All right, and in lane 2, from Great
Eddie Hall of
Britain,
Great Britain, last year's 3rd place finisher, here stronger than ever, ready to make his mark once again.
And in lane 3, from Poland, we have
And the 23-year-old from Poland,
Mateusz
Mateusz Kieliszkowski. Let's get started here in the load and drag, heat number 2.
And here we see Mateusz Kieliszkowski in the first lane, out of the blocks like a rabbit.
And then Eddie's in the middle lane. Ari Gunnarsson in the far lane. And he's made up a little bit of ground as we get into the final portion of this.
Keliaskovsky looking like he's struggling to find the right technique. It really seems like rhythm and timing of the drags is proving to be a critical factor in this event.
This is a mining cart, 683 pounds, grinding against uneven brick.
You see Gunnarsson in the far lane doing a really nice job. There's kind of two techniques, a short explosive burst or longer power pulls, and it seems like the shorter bursts are really helping Gunnarsson get down this course. As we see Keliaskovsky getting frustrated.
He throws the chains, and now it's a two-man race, and Ari Gunnarsson trying to beat the clock and get across the line. Final 5 seconds. Gunnarsson with 2 seconds. He's not going to get the line, but Aaron Gunnarsson is going to win this all-important first event in group number 4.
That was huge, especially considering he was going against one of the world's best powerlifters in Eddie Hall right there. Just a tremendous display by Ari Gunnarsson.
8.61 meters in the load and drag.
It really seemed like the technique, power, and determination got it done for the Icelandic giant.
That gives Ari Gunnarsson the first win of the group. Gerhard van Staden coming in second, pulling the card 8.03 meters. DeVaughan of the USA taking third. The Okavango Delta of Botswana, one of the largest inland deltas in the world, and expands roughly the size of the state of Connecticut, and home to one of the largest concentrations of wildlife in all of Africa. Just a short trip away from Botswana's capital of Gaborone, where the athletes took on their second event, the log lift.
Log lift, it's a little bit different, and I like it.
That's a banker event for me. Any overhead, I'm almost guaranteed to win it.
This is made by my 8-year-old daughter. I have wear this for like 4 years now. Never take it off, never. Sara Katrín, ég elska það. Now I start training with Hafþór at Hafþór's gym. And I'm improving a lot.
I'm feeling good. My weight is where I want to be. I've never been this heavy, and I'm feeling strong, confident.
Just looking forward to representing the USA.
Tough group, but actually here is no easy groups.
Had some good training partners by my side to give me a good push.
DeVaughan!
Told the athletes when they're getting psyched up. Everything all pat, Rich? I need to get top drawer on that. I was trying to conserve a little bit of energy. You know, doing a rep, waiting for him to catch you up. In hindsight, I should have gone all out, but I would have got another rep easily. Mateusz says, give until you drop athlete.
I always feel stress before competition.
Can't mock him, he's a phenomenal athlete. And he needed the points, you know, he was in dead last place in the first event, so of course he's going to go all out.
Time for first with 7 repetitions each.
Yeah, it was tough. I didn't think Keliaskovsky would match me, to be honest.
I started belief, and tomorrow and next day I will fight.
I have gotten better each year, and this year I definitely have a goal to make the top 10.
My goal is obviously to make it to the finals.
For me, this is the center point and the starting point.
You've got to conserve your energy, because if you go in the final, max out on every event, you're going to end up really fatigued, really drawn on energy, and then you're not going to perform well in the finals. It's all about up here as well as brawn, you know?
So Eddie Hall and Mateusz Kieliszkowski tied for first, each with 7 reps. Ari Gunnarsson pretty far behind them, taking third with 4 reps. DeVaughan and van Staden only getting 1. Third place in that event was enough to keep Gunnarsson in the overall lead. Hall has boosted himself into second. Keliaskovsky and van Staden are tied for third. We have moved to the Grand Palm Hotel. hotel and casino where the athletes in Group 4 will take on their third event, the bus pull.
In this event, the strongmen will really need to dig in and drive this 33,000-pound bus down the 25-meter course with their legs, while their arms provide support and balance by pulling on this big, thick rope.
So far, 4 men have competed, with Poland's Mateusz Kieliszkowski currently in the lead, having pulled the bus in 38.51 seconds. Iceland's Gunnarsson in second, DeVaughan in third, and 2 athletes remain.
Britain, Eddie Hall!
Eddie Hall, 410-pounder, 29 years old, from England. He's in second after 2 events, and now he tries to beat the time of Keliaskovsky, which is 38.51.
Ready?
Eddie Hall, known as the Beast, one of the greatest power lifters in the world. We'll see how he pulls this bus.
So impressed with the way Eddie got that bus moving past its initial inertia. It was stopped. But look at his rhythm. Look at his base. His arms and legs in sync. He's like a little pit bull in low gear pulling this bus down the course.
And the breathing seems to be in sync as well.
That's an important piece. Initially it's strength, but the cardiovascular conditioning really takes its toll here. But Eddie seems to be in pretty good shape and may beat Keliaskovsky if he can keep this up.
I think he's going to do it, Aaron. He's at 34.76. And indeed, the 4-time Britain's strongest man goes into the lead in this event.
Representing Great Britain, Eddie Hall!
Just an impressive performance by the big man from Great Britain. He showed why this is a big man's event. He's really refined his technique. You see those big arms and legs and that determination. His head down driving got it done.
Representing South Africa, Gerhard van Staden!
And it's Gerhard van Staden of South Africa, currently tied in 3rd place, and we'll see how he does in this event.
Yeah, well, van Staden bulked up to 381 pounds for this year's competition. We'll see if that extra weight helps him. This is a big man's event, but I think for van Staden, conditioning is going to be his limiting factor towards the end.
Again, from South Africa, and so he's one of the fan favorites here as it neighbors this country of Botswana. They're chanting, neighbor, neighbor, neighbor. They love him.
You see van Staden there getting a little bit tired, starting to stand up a little bit. His technique is starting to slip here. I wonder if that cardiovascular conditioning is starting to show up. Boom, and right there he pulls up, maybe injuring that left leg.
Does look like he's in pain. Aaron, indeed, that left leg just suddenly, he called it quits in the middle of the course. He goes into 6th, only pulling at 18.28, but obviously there's a bigger story at hand.
Yeah, and that bigger story is that after a very fast start, van Staden may be struggling to finish strong here if that injury proves to be too much to continue.
Meantime, Eddie Hall is the winner of the bus pull.
Eddie
He covered the 25-meter course in 34.76 seconds. Eddie Hall has finally edged his way to the top, but only a half point ahead of Ari Gunnarsson, who has fallen to 2nd. Poland's Keliaskovsky remains in 3rd. Van Staden forced to withdraw with a left calf tear. Botswana, one of the crown jewels of the African continent. Much of it a land where wildlife thrives. It's also a country that is flourishing as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Much of that growth radiating from here, its beaming capital of Gaborone, the host of this year's championship. Group 4's qualifying round continues just outside the capital city of Gaborone at the Baharutsi Cultural Lodge, their 4th event, the deadlift for reps.
Well, Brent, this is one of the gold standards of strongman competitions, as the athletes will be asked to lift a 770-pound bar off the ground from a dead position as many times as possible in 60 seconds. The glutes, the quads, the hammies, and even the lats all play important roles.
No reps means no points. 3 athletes have competed so far. Lauri Nämi of Estonia managing 2 reps. The USA's Derek Devaughn struggled mightily, was only able to lock out 1 rep. And Iceland's Ari Gunnarsson tying Nami with 2 reps. So that's where we stand so far. Here are the scores to this point. That puts Nami and Gunnarsson as the current leaders at the score to beat with 2 repetitions. 2 athletes remain.
Representing
Brings up
Poland,
Mateusz Kieliszkowski of Poland. He's currently in 3rd place here in group number 4.
Keliaskovsky is packed with power. I would expect him to do well here, and you hear the crowd chanting for him in the background. That's certainly got to give him some motivation.
Plus, I think he's motivated by the fact that he probably expected the number to beat to be higher than 2. So he's got an excellent opportunity to go into the lead here.
There's no question that Mateusz certainly feels he's got 2 in him. That first one went up pretty easy. Really good technique there. See the tight base, rolls it back, stands vertically erect, gets that chest out. That is perfect technique.
If he can maintain this technique, Aaron, he's going to go into the lead. He needs 1 more to do it.
This 3rd one really struggling. His body starts to vibrate, but he gets it.
So Keliaskovsky of Poland is going to be happy with going into the lead, getting 3 reps.
With 3 repetitions representing Poland, Mateusz Kieliszkowski.
He's such a breath of fresh air, and he showed some serious strength in this event.
That 770 pounds looks ridiculous, but you could tell it was no laughing matter for the impressive 23-year-old from Poland.
In terms of max, Eddie Hall is the world record holder in the deadlift. Now this is for reps, so it's different, but he's awesome in the static events.
It won't be different enough, Brent. Eddie Hall is going to dominate here.
He is a treat to watch when you're talking deadlifting. Eddie Hall is the name from Great Britain. He's the current leader in Group 4. He only needs to beat the 3 reps set by Keliaskovsky to win the event, and it's looking good, Aaron.
He's just warming up. Grab some popcorn, put your feet back, and watch Eddie Hall put on a display.
That's 4, and you know what? That's going to be good enough in terms of the show. He barely broke a sweat or took a deep breath to get the 4 reps necessary to win the event here, Aaron.
Just solid technique, tight base, toes, knees, hips were all aligned. He dominated just as we expected. I mean, Brent, who better than the world record holder to make lifting such an immense weight look so easy? He not only wins the event for his group, he gets a point and doesn't have to expend a lot of energy to do so.
That win increases Eddie Hall's lead, putting him 3 points ahead of second. Gunnarsson maintains second. Only 1 more event for him to attempt for that automatic berth into the final. This year, we have a new format for the athletes.
We certainly do, and it's already proving to be pretty interesting, because after the 5th event, the leader in the standings will advance automatically to the final, and all the remaining competitors will face off in the winner-take-all, last man standing.
But first, the athletes must take on that 5th event. Just at the base of Cali Hill is the Napoleon toss.
How does the golden bars differ from maybe things that have happened in years past, whether it be the keg toss or last year with the kettlebell?
Well, it's a completely different implement. The thing is with this, it's a lot more shoulder power. You have to really force it up with the delts. Whereas the keg is a lot more technique, a lot more swinging it out. So this is actually a lot harder, but not as technical.
Yeah, it's very intense, but I like it.
Yeah, if you can throw them take a step back and throw them, do it. Save time.
We're a good company of guys, everybody supporting each other.
Next heavier go from middle.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody's taking care of each other.
So over the years you make friends with everybody, so you don't see them as a competitor, it's your friend as well.
So we all hang out, we all like each other on, we all lend tacky and belts and chalk and whatever.
I wish the best to any strongman competitor, so even if it means beating me on the day, I'll still cheer him on.
But at the end of the day, we are all alpha males and we all want to beat each other. Yes! We train harder, we recover harder.
And fight
and fight.
We're physically stronger. We're mentally stronger.
It's the mind that gives up first. You can always push yourself a little bit further than you think.
That's the way you've got to be the best.
For Bullions, representing Iceland, Ari Gunnarsson!
Come on, son!
You only needed 2 to get to the finals. How important was it for you to get so far ahead so that you did not need to compete in last man standing?
I want to give everything I've got in the final to get my best chance. So it's very important to conserve as much energy as I can, you know, be as clever as you can. I've just done 2 throws on the bullion toss. You know, given no energy whatsoever, feeling absolutely amazing. You know, barely even broke a sweat. Feel absolutely fantastic. I feel like I haven't even done anything. And that's how you've got to be. I'm feeling mega confident going into the final now. I'm coming in 100% in here and here.
Keliaskovsky won the event, tossing 6 of the 8 bars. Gunnarsson in second. Eddie Hall only tossed 2 bars, knowing that's all he needed to be on top and earn that automatic advancement to the final. So Hall is in the final for the 4th time in his career. The remaining 4 contestants will battle it out in the last man standing competition. Even with a tie in second, Keliaskovsky gets the top seed advantage because he won the bullion toss. Back here at the foot of Cali Hill, where the remaining 4 athletes in Group 4 take on last man standing.
And they're all competing for one spot in the final. Now, this event is seeded on the standings after 5 events, where the strongmen must lift 352-pound stone over the bar, and when an athlete's eliminated, the next highest seed enters and he gets going.
So some highlights from earlier. First up, Lauri Nämi and DeVaughan. So these were the 2 bottom seeds. After Nami's 10th lift, it was Devaughns' turn. 10 seconds is all you get to get it over. He was unable to do it, so Devaughn was out. In comes Ari Gunnarsson to take on Lauri Nämi. Gunnarsson was able to lift it 2 times, and it was up to Nami, and he was only able to get 1 more, and he decided here to withdraw Aaron, so here we are. Nami managed to knock out Devaughn. Gunnarsson knocked out Nami, only having to lift 2 stones. So he's relatively fresh, and that's huge in this event. Now coming in against the top seed, Keeley Shkovsky, as we rejoin the action.
Yeah, you know Gunnarsson's going to be a little bit tired here. Keliaskovsky, so much power, so much younger than a lot of these other competitors at 23 years old. And he's just easily lifting up that huge stone and basically throwing it down at the feet of Gunnarsson.
Again, Gunnarsson at the disadvantage, but keep in mind, he's only had to lift it twice to get to this point, which is rare in this event. Normally, the athlete who's been in there longest has had to lift it a lot by now.
Those 2 reps that he's had to expend earlier in the competition, certainly an advantage, but he's also shorter than Keliaskovsky. So not only is Keliaskovsky fresher, he's got an advantage because he doesn't have to lift the stone as high up over the bar relatively as Gunnarsson does.
Clearly the 2-seed Keliaskovsky is the fresher athlete here. He's at a big advantage. We'll see if Gunnarsson can somehow pull off an upset here in last man standing.
At the end of the day, it takes strength to do well in this event, but this is really about heart and determination. You look at Gunnarsson, he's just gassed out, man. You wonder how much more he's got in the tank.
Got that tacky, which is all over his hands, forearms, and getting on his shirt, certainly helping with the grip. And now Keliaskovsky again.
Making this even harder on Gunnarsson is the fact of how quickly Keliaskovsky's getting the stone over the bar. Gunnarsson has plenty of strength left, but look how hard he's breathing. His cardiovascular conditioning is being tested as he's going to run out of time here.
1.
He was able to get 9, but he checks out, and Keliaskovsky only had to lift it 8 times to get the victory.
And the winner of Last Man Standing, headed to the finals, representing
So he's into the final, the man from Poland, Mateusz Kieliszkowski.
Keliaskovsky's looked so good from start to finish, and he has more than earned his trip to the final with efforts like this.
Kieliszkowski joins Eddie Hall in the final. Gunnarsson, Nami, DeVaughan, and van Staden all with impressive performances, but they gotta wait till next year. Next time on the �𝐏 World's Strongest Man, only 2 qualifying spots in the final remain. Group 5 is poised to battle it out in a relentless, gut-wrenching fight to the finish that would ravage even the strongest of men. 4-time champ Zydrunas Savickas returns after his 1-year hiatus, ready to reclaim the throne and claim that coveted record-tying 5th title. But with a strong field of competitors, including Great Britain's Terry Hollands and Nick Best of the USA, his quest will not be painless. For Aaron Taylor and our entire crew, I'm Brent Stover. This has been a presentation of IMG Original Content.